Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be showcasing everything new in Minecraft 1.20.5 as it's releasing sometime this week. I'm not sure when this video will be uploaded, and I'm also not sure the exact date they'll release it. But in this video we're going to be showcasing everything they announced, as the snapshot cycles are kind of confusing now because they add things for Minecraft 1.21 as well as 1.20.5. So let's start with the major features and then we'll jump to some minor features afterwards. First thing, wolf variants are coming, as well as some updates to wolves. So I've got all the variants laid out right here, with the biome they spawn in, and the pack size. If you don't know what the pack size is, that is how many you'll find when you see them in that biome. So going through the variants, starting with this one, you have the black wolf. This will spawn in the old growth pine taiga, in pack sizes of 4. Then you have the pale wolf, which is the classic Minecraft one. This will spawn in taiga biomes, with a pack size of 4. You then have the striped wolf, which spawns in wooded badlands biomes in a pack size of 4 to 8. You then have the chestnut wolf, which spawns in the old growth spruce taiga, and this will spawn in pack sizes of 4. You then have the snowy wolf, which spawns in the grove biome, always in pack sizes of 1. Then we have the woods wolf, which spawns in forests, and it spawns in a pack size of 4. We then have the ashen wolf, which spawns in snowy taigas in pack sizes of 4. We then have the rusty wolf, which spawns in sparse jungles in pack sizes of 2 to 4. And then finally we have the spotted wolf, which spawns in the savannah plateau in pack sizes of 4 to 8. I will keep it like this, so if you want to screenshot it, pause it to read the biomes or the pack sizes, then you can. Alongside wolf variants, wolves will now have double the health when tamed. So before they would have 20 health, which is 10 hearts. They now have 40 health, which is 20 hearts. And also when you feed them meat, the amount they will heal is now doubled to match up with the more health they have. Alongside wolves, inside of this update, we have got a new mob, the armadillo. The armadillo can spawn in all badlands biomes in pack sizes of 1 to 2, and they can spawn in all savannah biomes in pack sizes of 2 to 3. Before we cover how the armadillo works, you can brush it to get armadillo scutes, and it will also randomly pop off armadillo scutes, kind of like how chickens randomly lay eggs. So now let's cover a bit more about the armadillo. The armadillo will roll up in a ball. You can see the animation right there. When it detects a hostile mob, a player riding something, or a player sprinting. So if I sprint, you can see the armadillo will roll up into its shell. After a few seconds, it will peek its head out to make sure the coast is clear. If the coast is clear, then it will unroll and start walking around again. The armadillo can be leashed, and it can also go in boats and minecarts. The armadillo will also roll up in a ball if you attack it. Also, if you punch it and you stay near it, it will stay rolled up for a few seconds before unrolling and not identifying you as a threat anymore. Armadillos can be tempted with spider eyes, and they can also be bred with spider eyes. You can see it is following me. You can breed them together to get a baby armadillo, which baby armadillos cannot be brushed. And then the final thing I think we should mention about armadillos, spiders and cave spiders will run away from them if they are not rolled up. If they are in this state right here, spiders and cave spiders will run away from them, kind of like how creepers run away from cats. But if they are rolled up into a ball, spiders and cave spiders will not bother them, as they won't see them as a threat. Now let's cover the armadillo scutes. You can craft them in a crafting table into wolf armor in this shape. This one up here can also be on the other side if you do want it to. You need 6 to craft up 1 wolf armor. Wolf armor can go on wolves by clicking it, but to click it on, you have to have the wolf tamed and you have to be the wolf's owner. So if I was to tame this wolf and put the wolf armor on it, you can see the wolf armor will go on the wolf, but the wolf armor works differently to armor on players and horse armor. It will act as a shield, consuming all damage until the wolf armor is broken. Once the wolf armor is destroyed, then the wolf will start taking damage itself. The wolf armor can be broken on the wolf, and it has some stages. You can see that this stage right here is the first stage. There is a particle that plays. This is the second stage, and if we punch it one more time, you can see the animation and the third stage. After the third stage, if you punch the wolf more, the wolf armor will disappear, and you don't get anything back in return. Wolf armor can be repaired by just clicking a armadillo scute on, and each one you click on will repair one stage of the armor. Inside the survival mode, wolf armor cannot be enchanted at all, not even with mending, unbreaking, or a curse. If you try to enchant it, as you can see, there is an error completely and it won't let you. This can be done in creative mode though, so if you're in creative mode, you can enchant the wolf armor, although some enchantments don't work. The final thing I think we're going to mention about wolf armor, it can be dyed with dyes. It works like leather horse armor and leather player armor, where it will tint depending on what kind of colors you add to it. You can add up to 8 colors at a time, but once you've crafted it up, you can then re-dye it with some more colors to change the tint of it if you want to. That is what the dyed armor looks like. The dyed part is the black part. You can also remove wolf armor by shearing it off by clicking shears on the wolf. Once again, you have to be the wolf's owner to shear the wolf armor off. You cannot shear the armor off a random wolf. And alongside these new features, there are some new advancements inside this update. You've got Isn't It Scute for getting a armadillo scute from brushing it. You have the whole pack for taming one of each wolf variant. You have Sheer Brilliance for removing wolf armor from a wolf using shears. And you have Repair a Damaged Wolf Armor using Armadillo Scutes, and that's good as new. And then one final change inside of this is a minor tweak, but Turtle Scutes have been renamed to Turtle Scute. Before they were just known as Scutes, and this is so you don't get confused between the two. Now let's cover some of the minor tweaks inside of this update. Armor stands can no longer be destroyed by shulker bullets and llama's spitting. They've also added some new attributes inside of this update. The new ones is Generic Gravity. We then also have another one, Safe Full Distance. And then we have the final one, which is Full Distance Multiplier. And the ones that I missed is Scale, Step Height, Block Interaction Range, and Entity Interaction Range. And they are all self-explanatory of what they do. Scale scales the entity that you enter. Step Height does it so how many blocks you can step up without having to jump. Block Interaction Range is the interaction range at which you can interact with blocks, breaking them and also placing them, as well as opening and closing containers. And Entity Interaction Range is the interaction range at which you can interact with things like villagers. Potion effects have had a slight tweak as well. If you have a load of potion effects, let's just drink some random ones of these. The particle effect you get will now have different colours depending on all the effects you have. Before, the colours would merge together to make one colour. Now you can see that we have a load of different colours depending on the effect we have. So this will make it easier for players to know what kind of effect you have on you. Rather than just tinting the particle for every potion you have, it now shows a new colour for every potion you have. The cobweb block now has new sound effects inside of this update as well. Let's just hear them. This is the step sound effect. This then is the break sound effect. This then is the full sound effect. The next one is the hit sound effect. And finally, this is the place sound effect. Quite a big change. Minecraft have revamped the UI. When you now tab out, you will be given the blurred background of the game you are playing. So if you are in a game, then it will just blur out the background. If you're in the lobby, then it will blur out the panorama. And this is the same for any menu you go into. The old classic dirt background has been completely removed. You can still obtain it by going and getting the programmer art. But there is also a new accessibility option, and that is the menu background blur. By having this at 50%, you can see that the amount of the background is blurred. Up to 100%, it blurs it completely, down to off where there is no blur, so you can see exactly what is going on behind you. If we also jump back to the menu so you can see what it looks like here, you can see that the background is once again just the menu panorama. It is also the menu when creating new worlds and stuff like that. And one big change inside of 1.20.5 is spawn chunks. Spawn chunks have been revamped inside of this update. With this revamp, they have added a new game rule, which is a spawn chunk radius, and this radius is how big you basically want the spawn chunks. The default value of this is now 2. Before it was 10. So now with the value being 2, it will load a 3x3 area at spawn. And the reason for this is just to stop worlds and servers using a lot more data than they needed to. You can change it back to the value of 10 if you want the old spawn chunk radius. but it has now been lowered by default. And this value can be entered anything from 0 disabling spawn chunks completely, and it can be entered anything up to 32. Now the biggest thing in 120.5, which survival players wouldn't really notice that much. It's huge for map makers, data pack makers, and also mod makers, but they have completely revamped the NBT inside of the game. As you can see now, every item has components assigned to it. These components can be adjusted inside of the commands. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this. If you do want to know a bit more about this, I did have a video uploaded during the snapshot phase, which I'll have linked in the description. They have completely revamped this whole system, and the way it works is a lot better in my opinion, because you can now customize items a lot more than you could before. Some examples of what this can be used for: you can now make any item you want edible, so you can, for example, eat a crafter if you wanted to. You can make any item have durability. You can make any item be usable as a tool. There is so much you can do with this. There is also a lot more in 120.5, but most of it is small minor bug fixes. I have covered the majority of the big features. During the development of 1.20.5, there was 20 snapshots. That is including pre-releases and release candidates. There is a lot to go through, and I went through the majority of them and picked out the biggest features that a lot of people would care about. But I will have the full patch notes for when they are released in the description, so if you want to read everything that is new, all the bug fixes, then you definitely can. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy, do leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.